Yes, anything clear that we got down here. Thank you. Hello, hello. Hi, Trisha. How are you? Hi, Valerie. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Karen, Jennifer, Kathy, Teresa. Hi, Marcy. Hi, Miss Jamie. How you doing? How you doing? Hi, Rhonda. I'm good, Trisha. I'm good. Hi, Jess. Have you made it home, girl? You made it home yet, boo? Hi, Sally. How are you? Hey, Deborah. Hi, PJ. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Bran. Y'all are so faithful to come back tonight. We got some beautiful nail art we're going to do tonight. Then tomorrow night, we got to do my nails. They hanging on for dear life, honey. You just got home today? Yay. Good deal. How you doing, Miss Deborah? Stay tuned, Deborah. You're going to want to see this. I have a dupe for NSI Taupe. I got it in front of me here. Yay, yay, yay. Good to see y'all on this Tuesday night. Let me get my strawberry water. My Clearly American. Are y'all busy? Is the weather clearing up or decent where you are? Hi, Maria. How are you? Hi, Sally. There is no stock at NSI that we can purchase. So I know they have reached out to some of their partners to see if they have stock, which some of them did and some of them didn't. If they were like us, we were out of stock, so we've still not yet been able to order. Is the volume too quiet? Hold on, let's see if we can adjust. It is quiet. How about if I move this up higher? Does that help? It says, let's see here. Let's see if we can adjust our volume slightly. Okay. It says I'm at max volume, so that's better if we go higher. See if we can take this little thing off. What about if we remove this? Is that better or no? No? How about if we go this way? Is that better? That's better? Okay. We'll just do it without it tonight. Hi, Mindy. How are you? Okie dokie. We got lots of irons in the fire, honey. Did anybody see my Facebook post just a little while ago? Child, did you see our custom bottle, our prototype for Eye Candy Part 2? Thank you, Sally. I'm about to throw them through the window. They are a little bigger, they're a little heavier, so I've had a hard time getting them adjusted to stay up. Eye Candy Part 2 has a custom bottle coming shortly in 2026. We have the prototype bottles in our hands. That's actually the photo that I posted earlier. And Eye Candy Part 2 is full-on cat eye. It will be the Eye Candy Cat Eye collection with 72 colors. In Eye Candy Part 2, we will have the rotating. If you got Eye Candy Part 1, we set that up on a payment plan for you, and we tracked every color. You never had to guess, oh, did I buy this already? Have I already got that? Miss Tracy, can you look at my order? No, we track what we send you. You make one little easy monthly payment, and we send you X amount of polishes that month. The next month rolls around and that payment auto processes, and we send you I don't even know what it's going to end out to. 10, let's say it's 10 polishes a month. We send you the next 10. Then the next month we send you the next 10. And before you know it, you got them all. Several of you took advantage on that of our big eye candy collection. And that's how you were able to get every color. So we are really, really excited about Eye Candy Part 2. And it will be, every color will be cat eye. All right. Eye Candy Cat Eye collection, and it's going to be in that custom bottle. Be sure you go on our Facebook page and look at that, because it's a beautiful bottle. And fingers crossed nobody copies our bottle this time, right? The good thing is Eye Candy Part 2 will also have top gels. Girl quit, we'll have candy top gels for those. So yeah, I'm excited about that too. We got lots of things going on this year, but tonight is a beautiful cat eye nail art, and many of you use the NSI taupe. This is where I want to talk to Deborah. NSI taupe. We thought Graceful was the closest one of our rubber base that we could get to that. We were wrong. We have 2 rubber base in stock right now, and I brought my one little bottle of NSI taupe out. I'm going to show you how close these match. And if you're waiting on NSI taupe, this might be a dupe for you. So let's turn you around. I'm glad y'all are here tonight. You need it, Erin, girl. Don't we all, honey? Don't we all? Let's fix our camera. Here we go, GGO. You go see my light. It's good to spend my Tuesday night with you. Keith and I, we had a really simple supper. We rushed home from the office and I made a quick dinner, and we are ready to go with this beautiful live tonight. Let me get you zoomed in here just real quick so you can see these NSI colors that we got going on. Okie dokie. I got to get a drink of water. Oh, I'm thirsty. Okay. Let's get us a little swatcher here. Here is NSI taupe. This is our #1 selling shade in NSI rubber base. It's the one color that looks good on every skin tone. Seriously, you don't have to worry if you're using this on Indian, white, Asian, chocolate skin, brown skin. It goes with every single skin tone. Our 2 dupes we have closest to it, one is called Illusion Starlight. Now, why is it called Starlight? It has a teeny tiny shimmer to it. This one's just a tiny bit on the peach side of that. The one that's closest is called Mystic Starlight. And you really cannot tell these 2 apart. Hardly at all. There's our 2 closest dupes that we can get you. Okay. Now we do have one more, but it's way on the pink side. It is too far on the pink side in my opinion. The closest is going to be that right there. And that's called Illusion Starlight. Illusion Starlight. So I'm going to use Illusion Starlight tonight with the nail art we're going to do. Let's get this out of the way. Here we go, GGO. Have you ever had somebody ask you they want a little bit of a modern look, but they want some fancy scroll work with it too? How do you incorporate those 2? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. You know, the in thing right now is irregular ovals and isolated chrome and just a little splash of art here or there, but not everyone is going to want that. They want just a little oomph added to it. So we're going to do that minimalistic, very modern artwork, and we're going to add some scroll work to it. Let that level just a moment. Look at that, how pretty. This is Illusion Starlight HEMA-free rubber base. If you could only have one rubber base, it would be this one. And that little bit of shimmer, it doesn't even stick up on the nail. It lays totally flat in this rubber base. Some of y'all use tinted rubber base just so you can see how to apply it more evenly. It's hard for as our eyes get older to see that clear rubber base. It's just a tiny little twinkle. Can you see that? I don't know if that's coming through on your screen or not. Yeah? Okay. Just a very slight twinkle. Exciting things happening. If you were with me last night, I showed a little bit of the new website, a glimpse of that. Oh, honey, online. Did anybody go over and look at that after I showed it? Girl, what you think, Megan? What you think? It's beautiful, isn't it? It's so pretty. Such a beautiful website. I noticed, look, Hillary doesn't work on Tuesdays, but I could tell she was working from home during nap time because she keeps Rachel's babies on Tuesdays, and I knew she was working from home because I saw the conversations going on with our app developers. It will be on the app. It just takes some time to roll over. Yep, and it's not all loaded fully on the website either, so don't go over there and expect, like we have to turn that on so it can start loading so the app developer can build the app from the website. So about 2 weeks, everything will be finished making the transition. Yay! Look at this, how beautiful. Isn't that a pretty color? It's gorgeous, Miss Tracy. We already know it is, honey. We know it. All right, full cure on that. I chose 2 blues I'm going to work with tonight. I've got a Crystalline Cat Eye in Nebula. She looks like this. And then I chose Midnight Oasis, which this is a darker blue. And it has, this one has a little bit more of a gold cat eye that pulls through it. I'm going to use both of those, but I need to control how I put this on, so I got to pop it on my palette here. This is salon friendly, behind the chair friendly nail art. And you can see already the different hue in both of those. All right, grab you a little bit of artistic matte and get that down before we put our cat eye on. Now remember, rubber base is a base coat already. So you don't need anything else under this. Girl, I might have to wear this color. I have chosen what I'm going to wear to Florida for my class. You know, blue is one of my favorite colors. I don't wear blue nails a lot. I custom mixed a Rockstar glitter at the office this afternoon. And it's this aqua oceany blue color. It probably has 5 or 6 cuts of glitter in it. And then I custom mixed an omnichrome. Yes, I did, honey. Because you know what we do? You know what we do? We do everybody else's nails and make them beautiful for anything they got going on. But then sometimes we let our nails go, don't we? Yes. Why are we using artistic matte? Is because we're going to pull out some chrome, honey. Remember, artistic matte is our isolated chrome blocker top coat.
What was the other one? Moonlight what?
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry. The other color was Midnight Oasis, Keith. Sorry, I forgot to load that in the background for you. Midnight Oasis. You haven't done your nails since surgery, girl? Mm-hmm. My video stand is sitting real uneven here, and I'm afraid she's gonna topple over. Hold on. There we go. Okie. Here we go. Let's take a little alcohol. Your clients notice if your nails aren't done. Look, I threw me some lacquer on these nails last week. I'm like, oh, I'll just wear nail polish for a week. And where I don't have my gel on there, I'm too hard on my nails without it. And I could tell this one was gonna come off yesterday when I opened the box, because this is the nail I popped my retainers in and out with. And those retainers, you know, they snug in there, honey. You gotta really snap on those things. So, yes, tomorrow night y'all gonna do my nails with me. We're gonna do it together.
I'll help you.
Keith said he would help us. Oh, the colors I mixed today were beautiful. Wait till you see those. All right, we're gonna do an oval.
Are you gonna sell the colors?
Am I going to sell the colors? I only mixed enough for me, but I guess if somebody's interested, I can mix a bigger batch tomorrow. They're beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful colors. All right, let's do this oval. Now, neither of these cat eyes have to be put over black. They just kind of go over themselves. Let's go ahead and kind of magnetize her a little. There we go, in the light. And let's go in this darker one now. Now, you know, if you need it or you have it, we also want it. So let me tell you my theory behind, I want to wear something glitzy, but not cheap looking glitzy. I want elegant and sparkly and understated fancyism is what I'm going for on my nails. And I'm telling you, the chrome and the glitters that I mixed today, unintentionally really to start with, I'm like, oh my, okay, I gotta wear that, because aqua is just one of my favorite colors. Okay, cat eye it. Girl. Oh, that is beautiful. Midnight Oasis. And we go in the light. Now I'm gonna do 2 coats of this cat eye because over this light background, I feel like one doesn't quite pop enough. So I'm gonna do the second coat and I'll do that same, pull that same magnet with it. Not to worry, you can already see that little area is gonna be popped up a little. We're gonna pop it up anyway, honey. We sure enough are. So it doesn't have to lay flat. You know, sometimes we get in our own way. We get in our own way of doing something beautiful because we overthink it. Now I'm going for this linear look, like right down the middle of this stone. Almost like a tiger eye. Ooh, I'm gonna leave that right there. I'm going in the light. She's taking the plunge. And let's do one more of this one. It's a beautiful, I call this cadet blue. It's a smoky kind of blue. If you joined me last night, I gave you a little sneak peek when the new website and new app drops here in a couple of weeks. We got a soft little product launch that's going to drop with it. And we have 12 jelly cat eyes that are dropping. And I used one of the pink ones last night. Girl, she's already on the website. You can't buy her, but she's over there where you can look at her. Not on the app. She is on the website with her counterparts. And if you were who was watching live and can attest, child, she was beautiful. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. All right, let's let those cure. I'm gonna bring in this. It would make, yes, it would. The candy balls we made last night, Kim West was watching, and she asked me if I would turn those into eyeballs for Halloween. And my brain has been thinking about it all day. Y'all know I'm gonna have to do an eyeball, right? Not tonight, but I'm gonna have to do me an eyeball. I'm kind of seeing this in the back of my brain. I didn't actually get to sit down and map this out, but I think I want this on here. I work a lot with gold, but I think even though these have a little gold to the cat eye, that this silver would be beautiful with this. So I'm just going to outline my little cat eye stone. There we go. This is pretty. Look, I already have my prototypes of the Duchess and Darla collection. If you don't know, my puppies are getting their own collection within our store. They have 6 cat eye gels coming out. Closer to the summer, most likely. Maybe late spring. But they're absolutely beautiful. The Duchess and Darla collection. They have some cat eyes. What else do they have? They have some watercolor coming out. Girl, I think they got a few decals. It's fun. It's fun. They're getting ready to make the trek to Florida with us this weekend. It's too long for us to drive in one day. We used to could drive it in one day, but it's just too hard to do that. You know, you're talking about 12 hours with puppies, maybe a little bit longer. We just don't do it anymore in one day. So we're hoping to get to Savannah on Friday night sometime. And then on into St. Augustine on Saturday evening, sometime Saturday, if all goes as planned. Girl, you pretty now, you pretty. Oh, honey, you finally got snow in Montana? Look, I should have waited and put my artistic mat on, because now that I'm seeing this, I want to do it a little bit different. It's okay. We're going to pretend like I didn't put the first coat on. Ladies, go ahead and put your artistic mat on at this point. Let's do it. And we're gonna grab this 7mm brush here and we're gonna go to town with some little itty bitty teeny tiny scrolls.
Megan says it reminds me of the heart on the ocean necklace from Titanic.
Girl, don't it though? It sure enough does. We reached 61 or 62 degrees here today. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It did get cloudy though before it got dark this evening. I heard that yesterday was the last day that sunset happened before 6 o'clock until November now. And I don't know, I forget which weekend the time changes. Is it first weekend in March this year? Does anybody know? Because I got to get on my game, honey. Alrighty, just waiting on those to cure. Me too, Crystal. I don't like it getting dark this early. Let's see, do we want to use white or black? Let's get a little bit of each. I've got a white whipped cream and I got a black whipped cream. There's no difference in these formulas. We had the labels updated to start having the color pop put on here. So there's no difference in the formula though. I'm getting way, way low in my white one. This stuff like candy. That's how I go through it. So our Sunday night live will take place from Florida. Woohoo! Oh, I got a big old fuzzy in that one. Y'all, I made seashell candy balls today over at the office. I sure did. Because I'm going to be in Florida by Sunday. I am going to do seaside beach nails Sunday night. And I already prepped that class ahead of time. Yes, Lord. We're going to do these seaside candy balls. Okay. I don't know. I want to use white, but I think I should use black on here. Let's just roll with the black. If we don't like it, it's your fault, right? I think y'all can see black easier on camera than you can white. So we want to keep our lines very, very minimal. As tiny as we possibly can. Something like... And we don't want one continuous line either. I want something like this. Press and now release the brush. You see how I'm going over top of that little silver, oh shoot, line I put on there? I smudged her, hold on. Good thing I didn't have too much on it, right? So anytime we load our brush with whipped cream gel, wherever we set the brush down to start with is heavier and wider than when we lift up the brush, kind of like a little tadpole. So I want to outline this, but I don't want to outline it. So here's our first stroke. I'm going to set that brush down and then really let up on that pressure. I like to do what's called a piggyback stroke, where I actually open the stroke, but then I have her connect right back up. Girl. And while that's wet, Now pull me out a little tail. Another piggyback stroke, just real close and real tight. I'm glad I chose black for that. That was the right choice. Tracy, yes, honey. Thelma tried to get me to use white, and I knew it wasn't gonna be right. And now I'm just gonna overlap. I'm just gonna freestyle it right in here. But I'm using that silver line as my guide to just kind of stay between there. Right? Now I'm going to wave her out around this way. So we have some inside the circle and some outside the circle, or the oval rather. Open. And really tight. Teeny weeny tiny lines. Like you can hardly breathe, girl. Lord. And just when you think you can't fit in another one, you can. Look, you could stop right there, but I'm going to continue on around. Load my brush. And I don't quite want those to touch. If you're good with line work, you're good with any type of line work. Straight lines, curly lines, scroll work, because typically if you're good with line work, it means you can control your brush. Whenever I paint line work, it doesn't matter if I'm painting scroll work like this or if I'm painting plaid, it doesn't matter. First of all, I like to paint over a matte surface if possible, because when you're first learning, it keeps your brush from slipping and sliding all around. And second of all, just take your time. Don't get in a rush. So now you can see I expanded out around that little silver area.
Which brush are you using?
When you first start your scroll work, okay, so I'm using a 9, but when you first start your scroll work, you should really start with a 7. Let me see if I got my 7 handy. Hold on. I think I do. And I'll switch. I thought it, yes, here it is. I thought I pulled it out. Let's go down to our 7. And now you can't do this with gel polish. Gel polish is creepy, honey. She'll run all over the place on you. Whipped cream gel has stabilizers in it. So here is the 7mm. Let's put her over top of that, right there. She's a little bit shorter. This is a trimmed 7mm. Okay, so because whipped cream gel has the stabilizer in it, the line is not spreading. If we paint that with gel polish, she's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then eventually, she won't be a line at all, will she? She'll just be a muddy mess. Now, you see right here, I've kind of set myself up for some stones. Oh! If I want to put there or if I want to put here, and I do. I'm going to go right inside of here and add me just an extra little stroke. And you see how I dropped this one down this way? I'm going to do the same here. Right outside and come in super tight. Oh, girl, won't you quit, Miss Tracy? Look at there. Oh! Now, if you don't want to wear stones on here, a really pretty fleur-de-lis right there. And let me show you how to make that. Because you make that with your dotting tool. A lot of times I call it my Trinity stroke. Trinity standing for 3. I know I've shown y'all this before. Like the little bunch of balloons. So there's our 3 dots. Wait, let me make sure I got my right brush. I almost picked up that 9mm again. And then we're going to pull this in to the middle. And pull. And pull. And then while that's wet, we pull out our little tail. It's almost like a little cat tail. Honey, won't you stop it? Look at there, how beautiful. You know how people say, oh, only if you could paint it. You can paint it. You just need some practice. You most certainly can paint this. And now we go in and cure. We cannot freeze whipped cream gel. We cannot flash cure whipped cream gel. Her pigments, she has what we call hyperpigments. So she doesn't like to be freeze cured. She'll wrinkle on you. She wants a full cure every time. And she cures to a attack free. The longer you cure her, the slicker she'll get. If you want to chrome this, you're going to cure it about 60 seconds and put your chrome on. And then you can top coat it or whatever you would want to do. Now, because this one is darker, let's use the white on that one. White whipped cream. We have whipped cream gel in 18 colors, I believe. I have gold, I have rose gold, I have navy. We could use navy on here. As a matter of fact, let me show you some of the color selection of the whipped cream gels. Feast your eyes, honey. You got your colors in here good. I need to take a Q-tip and do just a little bit of cleanup on mine. I don't like for my palette to get messy. But you know, I get in these long recording days and I'm pulling that palette out a half dozen times and then, yeah, she needs a little maintenance. All right. Now this one, we don't have to do the same way, but because we have an oval on here, we kind of want to keep it in that fashion. So I believe I'm going to start here. 7mm brush. And pull that direction. Look how thin that stroke pulled out to versus the thickness of where I set it down. And I'm going to open that stroke and then close it. And I'm going to open it one more time and close it. And let's kind of work our way around this side this time. And one here, and just pull right over that little silver line that we laid in. And you can see that didn't quite join up there. That's all right. We just go in here and we'll add another little baby one about there. Oh, yes, honey. Yes, I did. Drop it down. And bring it right up into the side. You see how fluid that paint is? Those of you that work with whipped cream gel, tell us one thing that you like about it. This one goes here. And let's join up right here. Trina says it doesn't move. Jess says it gives an embossed effect. Someone said they love the stability. I missed the name on that one. Sharon says she loves it for chroming. It is a very stable gel, that's for sure. It's like when you, if you are going to whip meringue into stiff peaks, you lift that mixer up, honey. Those peaks better stay, or else it's not stiff peaks, is it? And whipped cream gel gives you that kind of consistency. It's a must-have in my nail art toolbox. Girl, I'm not going to give you my whipped cream gel. You're not going to get it away from me easily at all. It's solid in color. It's not see-through, is it? Look at these, how different they are, but how alike they are. Girl. Let's put another one here. And I'm going to open that up. And one more right in there. It does give you nice control with tiny details because your brush doesn't slip around a lot with it. You're exactly right. It's almost like writing with a Sharpie. Now this one I think we have to chrome. I think we got to do it. All right, let's cure. I was going to chrome this one, but I like the black against it, so I'm going to leave that. Going to go into our crystal embossing gel. Now, whipped cream gel does not need a top coat. She's got her own base coat, her own color, and her own top coat. Does not need a top coat. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to go in here and top coat the stone, quote unquote, and that's actually going to top coat part of the filigree that we laid in here, and that's all right. I'm going to first of all build that up with a little bit of the crystal embossing gel. And this is a mini 3D brush I'm putting that on with, just because I have quite a large area and I don't want to see brush strokes from putting it on with a tiny detail brush. Just go right up to the edge of that. And then give her just a second to start to level. This is not our final top coat. This is just that coat to look, to do that, to pop her up a little. And she's a little bit flat in the middle right there. Let's go back with a tiny bit more right in here. I know, it's beautiful. If you could chrome it with black chrome, you sure could. Our black silk chrome would be beautiful on that. Okay, there's kind of how she is from the side. Now you can dome that up as much as you want to, but we're still going to do a top coat, so it's going to pop it up even a little bit more. Let's go back in the light with that. Let's grab a little of this gold. Honey. Oh, girl, she fancy. She fancy. I love this one too. This is in our summer chrome palette collection. There were 3 palettes in the same collection. We still have some of those in stock. And they're all these bright jewel tone collections. Girl, I got to see the alcohol inks today that are dropping when the new website drops. I can't say no more. They're just beautiful. They're beautiful. Now, when you chrome your filigree or your scroll work, you have to put some sort of top coat on that or else the chrome will come off. So we have the option of top coating this all at one time, you know, over the whole thing, or we have the option of just doing the stone and then going and doing isolate it on the rest of it, which that's what I'm going to do. That's the harder of the two, but that's the way I want this one. Before I get there, I'm going to go ahead and grab my top coat and put on this one. Just on the center stone. That's kind of like a slip layer that I put on of that top coat. And then I'm going to grab me a bead of top coat and go this way. And just give that a second to level. Oh, look how beautiful. How pretty is that? We got to get that in the light real fast here. I'll be right back with it. I think part of the beauty of using the cat eye for the center stone is that we do make that shiny. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to build up that center stone, same as we did on the other one. And then we'll do the detail on what filigree we need to. Crystal embossing gel. Look, I have a portfolio started over here. I wanted to show you guys, for those of you that do press-on nails, I have started a year's worth of press-ons in my portfolio. I don't know if you're interested in seeing it or not. If maybe that gives you an idea for your press-ons, especially if you have regular customers that buy from you, and if they want a year's worth of press-ons, yeah, okay. Now I'm going to use my detail brush just ever so slightly to bring this down the side of that stone. Right there. Okay, so let's go. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. Let's go in the light with that. Let's not under cure that either. Let's look at a year's worth press-ons while that's curing. So rather than try to do this all at once, since we've started a new year here, I've done January. I'm going to zoom out. And then I've done February. I'll do March probably sometime next week. I'm going to zoom way, way out here. If you're in Beetlebox, you got one of these big portfolios sometime last year. Y'all remember that? This is what I've started my year's worth of press-ons. Here's January's the blue one. Let me kind of get it under there so you can see. I've done a little bit of like a denim print on those. And I've hand painted some one-stroke flowers. I've done a little bit of scroll. And then February, I did the hearts. Look at my little, my fluid art hearts. This little lady. And so now I'm ready for March. I don't love clovers like for St. Patty's Day, so that probably won't be what I do for March. March, I'm thinking something just a little bit springier, maybe. Okay, let's bring this back in, and then that'll complete your year's worth of press-ons. Kind of give you some ideas to go off of. You could sell a year's worth of press-ons if you have a customer willing to pay that for it, or maybe maybe you have a press-on nail club and they get one set a month. Okay, before I put that final top coat on, I am going to take the clear crystal embossing gel and I'm gonna go right over top of these other areas so my chrome won't come off of there. Here. Oh, that's pretty. And you can get nice little thin lines with your crystal embossing gel. Just don't load your brush up, too heavy with it. That's why a lot of people ask me, why do you cut those brushes? Well, I feel like a brush thickness or thinness should be custom to the artist. So if you need to trim it to make it do what you want it to do, by all means do it. Not everything is artist tailored when it comes out of a package, because your style is not my style. Okay, and that's all that was not under that little area. So now we're going to cure that. And then we'll put that final top coat on. Any questions on these cat-eye cabochons? That's what these are called, actually. Come on, little camera. When you get too close, honey, she wants to act up. Now, what would you put with this? If I am doing this as like the designer nail, I would definitely go in with that same color cat eye and do some solid nails with this to play off of that. If you've used gold like I have on the other one, then I would do some gold accents. I might have some gold glitter nails thrown in with that. Just 2 or 3 different things. It's kind of like this here. This is for my celebrity group. If you're in celebrity, this is the class I'm teaching for them for March. Okay, look at the relief. Look at the height I've gotten on that. You don't want to have, this has a vintage look about it. You don't want to have this one vintage and her 2 counterparts or her sidekicks here cannot have that vintageness brought in somewhere to it. Their bonus project, this one's not done, I haven't beaded this one yet, is this. All those little hydrangea blossoms match this. So there has to be some cohesion somewhere in what you're doing. Did I make these? Yes, I did. That's in the lesson. That's actually in a private group I'm teaching, Marisol. That is their lesson for March. All right, now we're going top coat. You can always join Beetlebox Celebrity. And they not only get the lesson, they get the supplies to do it with. Girl. I keep saying Beetlebox. Y'all know what I mean. Until we get fully switched over to Nail Art Toolbox. It's the Nail Art Toolbox Celebrity. How much is Celebrity? $1.99 a month. And you get the Nail Art Toolbox. You get all of the VIP courses. You get the Celebrity courses and the Celebrity kit. So it's like you get 2 subscription boxes. All right, let's cure that. And this month they'll get a bonus lesson because I'm teaching this as the main course there. Celebrity is, the courses are much more advanced in this. So this is their lesson, but the bonus lesson that I filmed will be this. And I'm even going to send you the egg if you want to complete the bonus lesson. Yes, I am, honey. Typically, you got to have your top coats and base coats, to complete your lessons with. Or if, I always like to say, if it uses white or black anywhere, you're most likely going to have white or black. But we try to send you as much as we possibly can within that budget to complete your project with. All right, and here is this one. It auto bills on the first of every month. Well, I'll say the first. We have a third party that auto bills that for us. Depending on what day of the month you sign up, it bills anywhere on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th. And after that billing cycle finishes on the 5th, usually the next day, as long as it's a working day and not a weekend day, a working day, then your classes will drop into your portal around the 6th of each month. What y'all think? You gonna try this? I love this look. This is a good technique if you know you don't have enough cat eye to do like a full set of nails with. You can use up those little bits of cat eye making these cabochons. These are unique. You will not see this at any discount nail shop on the corner, honey. What I like about it is you've got some of your filigree work under the cabochon, and then you've got some that goes out, those outer bands around your cabochon. And remember, if you're just starting to do line work, especially working with whipped cream, and you want to learn scroll work, 7mm brush is what I recommend starting with. I'm going to show you the difference in your 7mm and your 9mm here. It's the length of the brush. There you go. Whipped cream does not need a top coat, no. As a matter of fact, unless you're using it very, very lightly as just a faint outline, it actually makes you look like an amateur artist if you top coat over the whole thing. Here we've done a little, I call it selective top coat, where we've got some of that under the glass. That's okay. But if you have, let's say you've scroll worked the whole nail, Courtney, and you go put a top coat on, that top coat lays down in the relief, in that embossed texture, and then your light lines get all wiggly on that top coat. It just does not look well at all. Right there on the top of your screen is an online course I have to teach you just some fundamentals of scroll work, and I even teach you those tie-dye backgrounds that are there. For $79, it is a fabulous course if you don't know where to start with your scroll work, and it gives you enough working knowledge of not only the scroll work but of your product as well, and then you can expand from there if you would like. And I did trim these brushes, yes. Now I have a 9mm here that's untrimmed, and here's the 9mm that is trimmed. because when we're working with our whipped cream gel, which we know is a texture gel, she is much thicker than what a gel polish is. So a thick brush into thick product makes for a thick line. Watch. I'm gonna load this up. Do you see how thick that is versus, I'm gonna load them the same way here, this one. You see how much thicker my scroll work lines would be with that? They would be awkward. They would be bulky. Okay, if you watched last week when we did this little lady, I would hate to outline her with this one. But now if I'm going to use my liquescence paints, I got to have a 9mm that I haven't cut, because liquescent paint is water-based, okay? And so it's a thinner texture than what the gel is, and this would probably be too thin to use with liquescence. So now let's just use this one for an example. Well, we got a couple seconds here. Let's take one of these off the stand. That same line work with this brush, girl, I dare say, watch what happens. That's the first stroke that I made right there. It's a fraction. It is a fraction. So I already know that that product is too thick on here. I'll get wrinkling. It most likely won't cure all the way, because this brush just held too much of the product. Plus, I don't get that dainty look like when I have this one. Let me get a little bit more paint and make the same stroke. It's night and day difference. And this, if you can control this, you can control anything. Any other questions? Look, I like to have a couple brushes in each size. If you're gonna grab a 7mm to start your practice with, if you can afford it, grab you 2, because you want one uncut and then you want one cut that you can use in different mediums. That right there changed your artwork. I know. Stacy, it could be. It very well could be. Just for your liking. Lefties, do I have any lefties watching? Lefties are naturally heavy-handed, so I recommend all lefties trim your brushes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because some of our lefties have to cross their hand over this way, which automatically, with the brush pointing down, puts more pressure, and therefore that line will come out much heavier. Now, I'm not a lefty, but I can already tell you, if I try and make that line with my left hand here, I am pressing harder to control that, so therefore the stroke is automatically going to be wider. Are you a lefty, Peggy? If you're a lefty, you wanna trim your brushes to accommodate for the pressure that you put on them. Lefties and newbies, if you're new to, not nails, I'm not talking new to nails, but if you are new to this kind of artwork, you are automatically going to be more heavy-handed. Does everybody know how to trim your brush properly? Everybody know? I've shown it a couple of times. You don't know how to trim your brush? If y'all hold on a second, I'll grab a new brush from my closet while we're talking about it, and I'll show you how to trim it. No, don't snip it. Don't snip it. If you trim your brush from here, you just go have to buy a new brush, honey. Hold on, let me get a brush. Let's see what we got that I've not trimmed. I see a 7. Have we trimmed this 7? Yes, we have. Look, I even trimmed my 4s, my 4 millimeters. You have old brushes? Yeah, you can practice trimming on your old brushes. Oh, here's a new 15 mm that I've not trimmed. Let's do it. Look, she still has the cornstarch in her. So when you get a new brush, your brush hairs are going to be automatically stiff. You see that? Let's get this out of our way. And that's because there is a cornstarch and water solution that this is dipped in before it's shipped. That keeps your brush to a nice point. That's why if you're gonna, we always tell you not to mix your gel brushes with your water-based brushes. Like I wouldn't want to use this brush in watercolor. I wouldn't want to use this with alcohol ink because once I put gel in this, I'm gonna seal her hairs back with gel to keep her nice and to a point. So when you first get your new brush, use your nails and break that cornstarch out of here. Just very, very gentle. And you can see it. It starts to flake off on your fingers. Just press, press, and just inch your way up a little bit. First thing we want to do is soak that thing in alcohol or acetone, and that's not the proper way to do it. Okay, so now there's our 15 millimeter with the sizing broken out of it. I can tell you right now, if I'm gonna make a nice straight line, that's going to make a really wide line with gel paint with this right here. Maybe not so much with liner gel, but I tend to paint a lot with the whipped cream. You want one pair of nippers that you don't use for anything except trimming your brushes, like these ones. And they need to be sharp as, they need to start an IV, honey. Okay, do not use this on cuticles. Don't use this to trim that candy ball like I showed you last night. These are only my brush trimming nippers. Can everybody see okay? What you're going to do, you're not going to trim it from here. You're going to take these nippers and you're going to go in the side of it and just separate a few hairs. Just grab a few and cut right down here at the base. Trim. See right there, the little hairs that came off? And then I'm going to rotate the brush. And now I'm going to grab a few more down here at the neck and trim. And rotate the brush again. And you keep going around this. I call it the outer collar or the outer crown. That way your brush won't end up lopsided and you're not taking too much off at one time. But you can already see how much I've had taken out. Later on this year, I don't know when they'll be ready because I've worked on these brushes. When you start working on product and having your own product line, everything takes a long time. And I have worked on a brush line coming out this year. As a matter of fact, the prototypes I already have, we're just waiting on the packaging to be made. I will have a new series of 12 brushes. The handles are a silver holographic handle. These are 12 of Miss Tracy's favorite brushes that I've curated. And they are in the Infinity brush line. And my 9mm in that, it's close to a 9mm. Close to a 9mm in that particular collection is pre-trimmed. I got to specify, when I tell you I've tested brushes for a long time, like I know exactly how many hairs are going to be in that brush because I have specified how many I want. Now, I want you to look there. We got one stray hair. Can you see her hanging to the right, honey? She's going to cause me some problems if I don't get her off of there. So take that nipper And my Infinity brush line is in a beautiful velvet box. Just wait till you see her. Wait till you see her. And now I'm ready to paint with gel paint. I can take a little acetone and kind of swish that and get the oil, because the oil from my fingers has picked up in there. I took at least half of those hairs out, at least 50%. Now when we go in our whipped cream gel, wait, I still got some. And this is not the way we load a brush either, because I only have paint on the free edge of that brush. When we load that brush, now we roll it all the way up to the neck here. And the hairs in our brushes are exquisite. You guys, they are made to withstand alcohol and acetone. So now, oh child, we'll get a nice, look at that little teeny thin line I've gotten. Yes, pre-trimmed, or for those who are afraid to trim their brushes. Now, that's not to say it may not still have the right amount of hair for you. You might still have to take out some. Okay, but now I just cleaned that black whipped cream out of here before I put the top back on that. Take you a little bit of clear gel. It doesn't matter what kind. It doesn't matter if it's base coat, top coat. It doesn't matter, because once you put the top on there, this is not going to dry out. So roll that through a little bit of gel and then just lightly dry wipe it. Don't take all that out of there. And now that keeps the hairs on your brush, boing, just like that. And she's ready to go. Now we also have, look what happened. Look what happened. Never ever throw that away. Honey, she got used and abused is what happened. Remember the other night I was showing you how to use that little brush that we cut? Remember that? That I told you to cut, and how to smush her and do that kind of thing? Well, guess what I accidentally picked up in the process? So I damaged this brush. Hot water from my Keurig or from my tea kettle. Put a little hot water in your cup, dip her, and boing, she comes right back down to a point. But not if she's got product in it. You got to clean that product out there first. She's got some gel in her, so I haven't cleaned her yet. I'll clean her, and then like 2 seconds in the hot water, and it comes right back to life. These are sable hairs that are in here. Okay, so that's why you get the longer life out of something like that versus a nylon hair. Nylon hairs are like Barbie hair, synthetic hair. If you get them in the wrong kind of chemical, they're gonna frizz up on you. All right, any other questions? You think you can trim your brushes? You got this, boo, you got this. Keith has the link up top to that 7mm brush. We know it's $24.95. We know these brushes are pricey. When I tell you I am still using the first 9mm brush I ever opened of this when we had it made, I want to say between 3 and 4 years ago now, I'm still using her. I have brushes, not even good brushes, decent brushes, but not good brushes that I started my career with back in 2012, and I still have those brushes because I've taken very good care of them. Don't just throw your stuff around, you know, and don't be taking brushes out in front of clients. It's got product cured on it and hair stuck to it, or bottles like this. See how nice my bottles look? Don't open that with all that gel sticking down here. You got to take some maintenance and clean up your bottles. And one really good trick for that is if you have a little square wipey or a square of paper towel, anything that you have that you can fold into a square, fold that into your square. Take your scissors and cut out that corner like you're gonna make a snowflake. Remember when you was little, honey? Yes, girl. And you fold that paper, make a snowflake. This is just 99% alcohol. And now when you open that up, you've got the little hole there. This is how I keep my gel polish bottles nice. Take this down through the hole and put that back on. That cleans the neck of your bottle, and it cleans up inside your wand. Hold that in place. Look, you wouldn't think it had that much gel on there, but it does. Clean your bottles, and while you got that in there, go ahead and wipe. Keep your product looking nice. These gel polishes are too expensive for them to look like they've... Yeah, I won't go any further because I see lots of content creators filming with gel polish bottles that I would not walk in the salon if everything else looks like that. And now that's how you keep your bottles looking nice. And you don't have to go through and do it all at one time, but look what we cleaned off of there. That's eventually going to run down the neck of that bottle. Yeah, and you got enough alcohol on here, you could probably clean another one with that. Any questions? If not, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna go make some hot tea. I need it tonight. And tomorrow night, we're gonna do Miss Tracy's nails. Lord, I cannot wait for you to see what, child, won't you stop, what I've concocted. And I promise when I get to the office tomorrow, I'll try and pre-mix some of the mix that I made for myself in case you want some, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.